I love nothing more than being surrounded by books. Or maybe it's not a bad decision. I don't know. You decide for yourself. Hey y'all, it's Amber. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Whether you're a first time visitor, returning viewer, subscriber, welcome. I'm happy to have you. Apologize if you can hear my son's rocker in the background. I just need something to keep him occupied. I'm one deep. This lighting is not really vibing with what I got going on, what I need happening. So let me readjust. This video is going to be about books that I am interested in reading for the summer, or books that I have already read for the summer. I'm going to end with the books that I've read that summer related that I would recommend, and the rest of the books are books that I would like to read or I've heard about, or whatever the case may be. But before we get into that, if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you do so. Hit the notification bell so that you can get notified every single time I make an upload, which will be on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. With that being said, I don't want to hold y'all, and like I said, I need to get back to my baby boy. So let's go ahead and get through this summer TBR. I am not going to be giving a synopsis of every single book that I mentioned. These are just books that have caught my attention for one reason or another. I'll make sure to leave the books listed down below. Cannot promise that I will leave Amazon links or anything like that, because I really do want to encourage supporting small, local, independent bookstores. But at the least, I will leave the names of these books down below. And if you have more interest in learning more about them, then you can definitely look them up and use that. So first things first, I'm gonna start with the books that I have here to my left, and then I'll go with this huge stack that I have here to my right. Now, some of these books you will have seen from my TBR jar video, so they may overlap. Not too many of them, but just a few. We're gonna kind of do this rapid fire. So the first one is Room Hate, and it does have these sprayed editions. It is not a Barnes & Noble exclusive. I guess this is just what it is. And it says, sharing a summer house with the hot as hell roommate should be a dream come true, right? And I'm guessing just based on the title, it's enemies to lovers, or they don't get along at first and then they somehow end up connecting over being roommates. So this is a book that's intriguing. I don't know whether I'll actually get to this book or not. It's not high on my priority list, and it is based in summer, so I would like to read it, but no promises. Next book that I have is a mystery thriller. I had started reading it before, and I put it down because I wanted to prioritize some other books, but I really enjoyed what I had read thus far, and that is The Party by Natasha Preston. And this is about a group of kids who go to one of their friends' mansion, and nobody lives there. They're in the process of restoring it, and things just seem to go downhill from there. So this is a book that I would like to get to. If I don't get to it in the summer, I won't be too offended by it, because this is definitely a book that I can put on my fall TBR, maybe some August, September. Another summer related book is Summer in the City by Alex Astor. She is the author of the Light Lark series. I do have Light Lark, never read it before, interested in reading the entire series. And this book is super, super cute. I got the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, but I believe she did different editions with different book retailers. And the inside is fantabulous. It says it's a swoony, fast-paced rom-com set in New York City, in which a screenwriter and a sexy tech CEO go from lovers to enemies and back to lovers again. Love that. So is this a second chance romance, enemies to lovers type vibe? That's what it sounds like. This will definitely be one of the priority reads that I have for my summer TBR. Another priority read is going to be One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. She has several books that's based in summer. This is her latest release, and apparently they're really good for beach reads. I'm supposed to be going to the beach with my husband and my son. I don't know if we actually still are, just because of the circumstances of my son and his medical status. I'll talk more about that later. Not going to talk about it in this particular video. But it says good things happen at the lake. That's what Alice's grandmother says, and it's true. She spent one summer there at a college with Nan and when she was 17, and it's where she took the photo, the one of the 3 grinning teenagers in a yellow speedboat, the image that changed her life. So it looks like a photographer going back home, maybe. I don't know. I don't want to read too much because some people don't like spoilers, and I want to be respectful of that. My camera battery is about to die. Let me change it and I'll come back to you. All right, I'm back, and it looks like the lighting is even better too. Okay, we'll take it. Another book that I am interested in reading and putting on my summer TBR. Now, whether I actually get to it in the summertime or not, I'm not exactly sure, but it is The Rose Bargain, which I believe is a romantic novel vying for the hand of one brother, falling for another. Ooh. So I believe that people are able to bargain for a particular wish. They have to give up their happiest childhood memory in exchange. And it looks like the main character is trying to free her older sister from a bargain that she had previously made, and obviously needs someone's help to do it. I've heard a lot about The Rose Bargain. I'm trying to, again, do a better job about going into books more blind and not knowing all of the details before I actually read it, because I do feel like that's been influencing and biasing my perspectives of books. Another book that I would like to read is Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. I've heard so much about this series, and before I continue buying the rest of the books in this series, I would like to get through at least the first two. So this is the first one, and he wants to save her, she wants to hide, she's damaged, he's determined, fate brought them together, love binds them. I do believe that this is a high school sports romance book, but it deals with a lot of real life problems and trauma that the characters are working through, from what I understand. I am not gonna look up the trigger warnings because I am typically not a person that tends to get triggered in books, but other than that, I'm looking forward to actually reading this. And this is a book that I'm going to pick up pretty soon because I want to start getting through it. And if it's something that's more academic ish or academic feeling, then I will definitely read the rest of the series in fall, like end of summer, early fall type vibe. But anyway, I also have Every Summer After by Chloe Fortune, 6 Summers to Fall in Love, 1 Moment to Fall Apart, A Weekend to Get It Right. It looks like a girl meets someone and she goes for 6 summers back to this town, and she has been inseparable from this person, but it seems like things go wrong and they're just trying to figure out if their love is stronger than the mistakes that they made, is what the book says. Don't exactly know, but this is another Carly Fortune novel. Now, I think I'm going to prioritize One Golden Summer over this, but I would like to read Every Summer After because I've heard really good things about it, and it does come up on a lot of Summer TBR and recommendation videos. Another book that I would like to read is The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walter. It's all fun and games until someone loses their heart. The main character, Meredith, lost her sister and ends up going to some kind of wedding. She goes on a family vacation where there's going to be a summer wedding, and she ends up connecting with another person in the bridal party, and that's all I need to know. Sounds like it'll be a fun, cute time. Not too, it's kind of thick, but it's really not that long. Look like, what, 350 pages, which is not too bad. Another one is not quite summer related, and it is definitely something that can be waiting until later, but summer is my podcast season, and this book is about, if I'm not mistaken, someone who has a podcast or some kind of platform where people call in and make these crazy confessions. Says she gets people to confess their crimes for a living. He knows she's hiding a terrible secret. It's time for the truth to come out. What more do you need to know? What more do you need to convince you to read this book? Another book that I have that I saw recommended on BookTube, but I haven't really heard much about. I have seen it on a couple of recommendation videos, but it doesn't really seem like many people have read it just yet. And 7 Summers by Paige Toon. 6 Summers to Fall in Love, 1 Summer to Change It All. Guessing this is something about, again, summer flings and romances standing the test of time over time. Whether it actually lasts or not, I don't know, but that's the vibe it's giving, and I've heard good things about it from the couple of YouTubers that I did hear talking about it, so I am intrigued enough to read it, and hopefully I can get to it before the end of July, ideally, but definitely before the end of summer. Another book that I have is Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan. Now, I did read another of her books that I'm going to talk about in the recommendations part at the end, of books that I've already read that remind me of summer, and I really enjoyed it. It seems like she's a really well-received author, so I am intrigued enough to read more of hers. I do have Nora Goes Off Script. That's something that I can read later. This particular one, Summer Romance, has summer in the title, so that's all I needed to know. Benefits of a summer romance: it's always fun, always brief, and no one gets their heart broken. And I'm guessing by that synopsis alone, I'm getting a little tired. My baby getting a little sleepy, so I want to catch him before he goes to sleep, because that would likely be it for the night. Now, moving right along, I have Frenemies with Benefits by Cynthia Williams. And you can't keep a sizzling little secret in a town like Peachtree Cove. So I'm guessing just based on Peachtree is based somewhere around Atlanta. And I believe this is about two people that just came out of bad relationships and scandal, and they somehow find comfort in each other is the vibe that I'm getting. And what more vibe do you need? So I'm excited to read Frenemies with Benefits. I do know that this is a part of a series, and I do believe the remainder of the series is on Kindle Unlimited, or at least I have it on my Kindle wish list. So I'm excited to read something by Cynthia Williams because I've never read a book by her before. I have The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. It's about to become a movie. It's a part of a series. It gets a lot of hype. One of Frida McFadden's most well-loved novels. I have read a couple of Frida McFadden books. Some of them were okay. Some were better than others, but I did enjoy it. And my friend, I was talking to her about different books that she was reading and books that, you know, she would have recommended for me. And this was the book that she recommended. She said she really enjoyed the Housemaid series and she was working her way through it. So that was all the convincing I needed. So I would like to get to this. Again, that's just one of those books where if I don't get to it before the end of August, it's not a big deal. I can come back to it at another time. We have Lucy Score's Story of My Life. First and foremost, this book is absolutely stunning and beautiful. I do know it's on Kindle Unlimited, so realistically, I will probably read the Kindle Unlimited version because this book is a little thick. It got a little weight to it, and this is going to hurt my hand holding it like this. So I'll probably read the Kindle Unlimited version. What's more inspiring to a rom-com author than a hot, grumpy contractor literally knocking down walls? And that's all I know. It's a Grumpy Sunshine novel. I know it's a part of a series, the beginning of a new series. I have Wild Love by Elsie Silver. I've heard a lot about Elsie Silver. I know she has the other series. I can't remember what it's called, but I'll pop the books up. I would like to read that series as well, but I think I actually want to start with this particular trilogy. Not a trilogy anymore, because the fourth book is coming out, I believe, in September, August, September, something like that. She's been driving him wild for years, the good kind of wild, the bad kind of wild, but mostly the kind of wild that comes with wanting your best friend's little sister and knowing you can't have her. So what more do we need? This book is all over BookTube, BookTok, so it's not hard to find a synopsis for it. Like I said, I do want to be mindful of those who would like to go into books blind, and so that's more than enough for me. I do know it's a part of a cowboy series, and I know everybody think we all cowboy fans here in Texas, and let me tell you, I am not a huge fan of the cowboy culture. Let me just be clear. I do love and appreciate elements of the cowboy culture, okay? But every Texan is not out here saying yeehaw all the time. Just need us to understand that. Next, we have Abby Jimenez's Say You'll Remember Me, and this is the book that came out maybe about 2 months ago. They met, they fought, they fell hard, then they fell hard. And I know that there's a little companion here, little doggy. I do believe that this tackles a difficult issue, if I'm not mistaken. And that's all I need to know about that. A lot of reviews have been out about this book, so if you just want to know more, you're definitely welcome to find that. But I'm not really a huge Abby Jimenez stan. I'm not even a Emily Henry stan either. I'm dipping my toe into the water to get more about them. I have read the Happily Ever After playlist by Abby Jimenez, and I really enjoyed it. I do remember it having me giggle a little bit, so I'm intrigued to read that. And speaking of Emily Henry, I have Beach Read. I do have 2 copies of Beach Read. I'll probably read the paperback version because this hardback cover version, though it is beautiful and stunning, it is heavy. Looks like it's about 2 authors who end up having writer's block, so they decide that they're going to try to attempt to write from each other's genre, and I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of humor and banter and things like that. We have another Abby Jimenez book, Just for the Summer. I mean, this is on everybody's summer recommendation list. Apparently it is just that good. 4 dates, a kiss, and a breakup. That's all it would take to find their soulmate. And there's a lot of synopsis and plots and people that's going to break down exactly what this book is about. I'm not going to do that for those that want to go into it blind, but I have heard a lot of good things about it, and I'm intrigued enough to read it. Couple more, y'all, couple more. We have The Wedding People, and I do believe that this tackles grief. It's about a woman who ends up at a hotel connecting with the bride. I mean, I got FOMO with this book. Everybody was talking about it months ago. I'm very late to the train. I've had this book for a while, but I've just never had the opportunity or the time to prioritize reading it. But hopefully I get to it. If I get to it, I get to it, and if I don't, it's all right. I have Passion Project, and this is about a woman who is not happy with life, and so she ends up connecting with someone that can help her find her passion by trying different things. And I'm guessing it's gonna be maybe a love story subplot. I don't know if this is a romance novel or not. I don't know if this is general fiction. I really don't know too much about this book. I just know that a lot of people were talking about it, and I like how it looks, and it was an option on Book of the Month, and I chose it. So Curvy Girl Summer. I heard a lot of things, positive things about this author. I know she has another book that just came out, and I'll put a picture of it because the name of it is escaping me. It's something Player. Anyway, I'm intrigued to read this book to see if she is an author that I would like to continue to read from. I do love that we have a plus size protagonist. We have someone who is my age. She's 30 years old. I mean, there's drama surrounding getting a date. I mean, come on. Come on. Come on. Books that I have read or that I recommend that gives me the summer vibe, 7 Days in June. I just finished reading that yesterday, actually, on the day that I'm filming this, and I 10 out of 10 recommend. Love it. It does not, I will say, though it does have a romance subplot, I do think that its focus is more on the characters' connection, not necessarily just romantically. And you get to see different aspects of the character's background. I'm trying to be vague here because I don't want to give too much away. Anyway, I highly recommend 7 Days in June. 10 out of 10. Chef's kiss. Loved it. It was amazing. I also recommend The Partner Plot from the Green Sister series from Christina Forrest. I recommended it to my friend. She ate it up. She loved it. I'll link that podcast video down below where she talked about it, and I really enjoyed that episode. So hopefully y'all check it out. Give her a listen. Let her know what you think about that episode as well. I am actually going to be reading The Neighbor Favor sometime soon for that romance video that I was talking about earlier. So I am recommending The Partner Plot. It could be read any time of the year, but the reason why I liken it to summer is because bad decisions in Vegas just sound the best in summer. Or maybe it's not a bad decision. I don't know. You decide for yourself. I would highly also recommend the Skyland series. I believe it's what it's called, and it's Before I Let Go, Can't Get Enough, and what is the other one? This Could Be Us. Love the series. Love Kennedy Ryan. 10 out of 10, 20 out of 10, 100 out of 10. Definitely recommend. If you like romance books that have more plot than just romance, Kennedy Ryan, I'm going back to read her backlog because I'm that much of a fan of her. Same for Tia Williams. Tia Williams has a lifelong fan of me. She is an auto buy author for me. Her and Kennedy Ryan, doesn't matter what they come out with. Auto buy. Auto buy. Definitely also recommend books by Jasmine Guillory. The ones that come to mind is The Proposal, The Wedding Date. I'm also thinking about Drunk on Love or Drunk in Love, whatever that book is. I'll pop it up on the screen. I enjoyed that. It was about somebody that owns a vineyard. Summertime. I mean, it could be cute. It's a vibe. I'm just saying, recommend it. But the books definitely give summer, except for a couple of the books in the holiday, or one of the books at least, are set around the holiday time. But y'all get my point. Definitely check out Jasmine Guillory as well. I'm currently reading Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood. I am enjoying it thus far. I'm 86% of the way, so I'm almost through with it, and I have no complaints about it. I love it. I love the tension. I love the building. I love the plot around it. I love the flashbacks. It's working its way up to the present time while weaving through the present story, and there are different plots and character development, and just I love it. Another book that I forgot to mention that I would like to read soon is My Friends by Frederick Bachman. That has been everywhere. Another one is Till Summer Do Us Part by Megan Quinn, and that is on Kindle Unlimited, so I downloaded it just because I'm intrigued about it, so I'll check it out. Definitely recommend You with the View and the X-Files also for summer reading. I would say the X-Files can also be read in the fall or the springtime. Sorry about that, train went by, totally zoned out. Would also recommend The Unhoneymooners or The Paradise Problem from Christina Lauren. I enjoy both of those books. I would like to reread them to see if I like them. Probably not something that I would do this summer, but definitely something that I can do in the future. And I'm not gonna keep holding y'all, so I think that's pretty much it. If you have any recommendations or books that you enjoy reading over the summer, or some books that you would like to read over the summer, feel free to let me know down in the comments below. I'm always looking for recommendations. I'm always looking for new books to check out, new authors to experience. Definitely looking forward to going to more independent bookstores and learning more about new authors. So if you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and do so, and I will see you next time.